property. Of course, we love the promised land of Peel Region, Mississauga, Caledon, Orangeville, Brampton. Do the numbers still work? They haven't granted the basement apartments yet, although they're talking about it. What are your thoughts from an investment perspective in Peel Region?
I still think it can make sense. I mean, the key piece is the rental opportunities are plentiful, so you can rent for good dollars. And so it really depends what your objective is. If you're looking to have a really good cash-on-cash return, it's becoming more challenging, but still doable, right? So Toronto's becoming very difficult. But, you know, I think the 905 area codes still lend themselves to some good investment opportunities.
When you say cash-on-cash return, what do you mean by that? Explain to me.
Well, you know, if your objective is you want to get a good, you know, return your money where you're actually being able to get a residual income off that.
Okay,
you
so
know,
cash flow.
Cash flow.
Okay.
Then, you know, it's going to depend on how much you put down, what your objectives are, right? So, you know, if you're putting down 5 or 10%, which is almost difficult to do now as an investment property, unless you're getting secondary financing, the numbers become skinny, right? But if you've got a larger down payment, you can still get a reasonable return, right?
Now, even when we were allowed to put down 5% for a second property, which wasn't that long ago, what would, you know, so I'm Sam's nephew, and I come to you, and I say, you know, Sam, this is what I want to do. What do you like from a parental point of view, paternal point of view, in terms of how much to put down? Do you like a third? Do you like a quarter? What do I want to put down? 25%, 30%, regardless of what the rules are?
Well, you know, if you can avoid your CMHC fees, that's ideal. So if you can put down at least 20%, and sometimes you can get that in a combination of ways. You might only have 10%, but get secondary financing for 10%. So, you know, if you can get to that threshold of 20%, then that's optimal from my perspective. And then from there, you're crunching numbers to see where you want to be.
Okay. Do you think, on that question, do you think that people are sometimes we over leverage ourselves just because the banks, you know, as great as they are, and I mean great in a way, stingy, because I do think that's great. They protect us, you know, in the long run. But do you think that sometimes they even give us more than we should be able to purchase? And so some people, they find out they have 500 to spend. You know, they don't necessarily they shouldn't spend 500. Maybe it should be 350, 400. Do you think younger people are over leveraging?
You know, definitely leveraging is a concern in our marketplace. The banks have taken good measures to minimize that, but it's human nature. If you have an opportunity to spend $500,000, you might go that extra mile. So the banks now have tightened up, so it's more challenging to do so. But no question, right now there are people who are leveraged, and that is a concern. I think people do have to manage that.
Okay.